The following program is an opinion program. The opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of this program are not the opinions of the management, staff, and advertisers of this station. Please direct all criticism, concern, and adulation to the hosts of this program.
Welcome to Alabama Politics. This week I am Dale Jackson. I'm a radio talk show host. You can hear my shows Monday through Friday all throughout the state of Alabama from 5 till 9 a.m. on WVNN in Huntsville and from 10 until 11 on WLWI in Montgomery, Talk 99.5 in Birmingham, and then again on the UMP in Huntsville from 3 until 4. With me, as always, Mecca Music. She is the CEO of 256today.com. Smart news for smart people, smart enough not to take a third week off in a row because then I would have to replace her. We have missed a lot since the last time we recorded this show. There's a lot going on, and we're going to talk a lot about it. Yaffe will be with us. We'll talk with him. He's a radio talk show host, also at WVNN. And I've got a parting shot about cell phones in schools, and the kids are going to hate it. So let's go ahead and get to it. Let's get to the 2-minute warning. So something happened somewhere in a field in Pennsylvania, and it was bad. It was really, really bad. Someone tried to kill the former president of the United States, Donald Trump. He then returned to the convention, to a raucous crowd, very happy to see him. You cannot look any more badass than he did in that situation. But it is a really bad moment for our politics and our society as a whole. Mecca, is this where they almost got him?
Okay. I dislike the fact that you used your "is this where they get him" joke on this.
I thought it was pretty clever.
Yeah, I disagree. I disagree. I agree with what you said. It's a very serious matter. I don't appreciate. I don't like a lot of the commentary.
Yeah.
Someone's like, oh, just a little closer, things like that. There is no place for that in America. There should be no place for that in our society. And I think people should really do a little self-reflection if that's how they feel about these things. I will say the first text I got after it was like, okay, he is okay from a Politico, obviously someone very involved, he wins by 8 points.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt it helps him. I don't think there's any question. I don't think it's not a slam dunk. But it's pretty much as close to that as possible at this point. We'll talk about why Biden's having some problems. And by the time you watch this, Biden might be gone. So who knows? I mean, in the sense that he's not going to be the nominee because that keeps going back and forth every single day. So we'll talk about that here in a second. Mm-hmm. This thing about what went down that day and when Donald Trump stood up there and pumped his fists and stuff, that is something that will be in Grant's, books in school. This is going to be something that people always say. There's an iconic photo of this guy. A person lost their lives. Other people were injured. There's a failure on the Secret Service's part of 1,000 different ways. Apparently, we're going to get to the bottom of that.
And we will learn more as that's going forward. And I think that's important. Yeah. I think that needs to be examined closely.
If Trump wins, they'll point to this moment. I'm not so sure that he wasn't already ahead before this, but this will be the moment that gets all the attention, no question.
Correct.
About that. And what's going to be interesting here, and we don't really have much time to talk about this, I looked in Donald Trump's eyes when he came out that first time. That's a different human being. He's a different human being. Mm-hmm. We'll see how long that lasts, and we'll see what happens next. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Joe Biden here. Is this where they get him? And I think it might actually be where they get him off the ballot because this guy has had a pretty bad series of weeks. Every possible thing that could happen is happening against him. There's a bubbling, growing problem for him within his own political party about whether or not he can even exist. That's after he had a really bad debate. Then his political opponent suffers a horrible situation and comes out looking awesome on the other side of it.
Right.
Well, he has to go to his basement because he has a cold. And this is definitely something, I'm not trying to make light of him having COVID. It's very dangerous for someone his age, which further highlights the problem with the fact that he is so old and appearing so feeble. So Mecca, is this where they get him?
So this week there was an interview that was done and they had asked him if there was a medical condition and he said yes. If there was a medical condition, I would drop
Is
out
COVID
of
a
the
medical
race.
condition?
I don't think that's what he was meant.
I was scolded. A doctor I know texted me and said, this is not a medical. Now they're a Biden person, so
You're going to get scolded either way.
But they said that is not a medical condition.
Right.
That is a virus, and it's an ailment, and you deal with it, and then you move on.
I think the condition part would be, as you mentioned, his advanced age
Yeah.
and things like that.
Well, plus, we all know. You look at the charts of who lost their lives from COVID, and he fits every single thing. If he was obese, he'd be perfect. But other than that, it is just he is every part of this, and this just further highlights that. And again, look, I look at it like this: Kay Ivey, our governor, my mother, Donald Trump, and Joe Biden are all roughly the same age.
Okay.
And they are four totally different human beings
Very different.
in the way that they appear,
And
present.
vitality, health,
yeah,
yes.
all of them.
Politics.
And and Biden just comes off as so much older than every single
any
other
of them.
person there. And I'm not saying they're all the exact age, but they're all in that age range.
Well, but we go back to his comments. I think he meant it more as reassurance. Some people are taking it like, oh, he's going to step down. He's going to step down. I think he meant
Blood
it
is
as
in the water.
I know.
So everything
and that's
he
what I'm
says
saying.
is
exactly.
Yeah.
But I think he was trying to say it as more like, don't worry. If there was a problem, I would step down. And he's trying to say there's not a problem.
Yeah. It's like him saying,
I don't know, but that would be my opinion.
It's like him saying, man, I'm really tired. And they're like, oh, here we go again. This is the thing. All right, let's move on here and talk about this. The cell phone bans in school, I wanted to talk about this, and I thought it was pretty important here. So I moved this up, actually. I was going to do it at the end. But the cell phone ban's very important. We're seeing this across different parts of the area. We're seeing it in different parts of the state. In Huntsville, the school board, who is awful in Huntsville, that's just my interpretation. Two of those members tried to dox my son. But they came out and made it very clear that they don't even think they can enforce their own cell phone ban. You've seen the state superintendent say we need more cell phone bans. You've seen it, largest school district, one of the largest school districts in the country, in LA, cell phones on their way out of the schools. I think this is coming. I think this is coming hard. I think you're going to see eventually cell phones not completely banned, but you cannot use them in class. They're going to take them away. They're going to do all these things. And it's coming.
It does exist, though. I know I've got 3 school-age children, so I know all too well that they have cell phone restrictions. It's a phone-free classroom, phone-free, school. And so they, keep them in your backpacks. As a parent, and I speak on the other side, I have to say that, I want my kids to be able to get a hold of me if they need to.
Are you bothering them at noon?
No.
Really? I'm just asking. Are you bothering them at noon?
What does that mean?
No, the reason I ask is because one of the things as parents, I want to be able to get in touch with my kid. It's like, why?
I said them get a hold of me.
If something horrible happens, yes.
I want them to be able to get a hold of me. But I'm working.
But they are such a distraction. And it causes social media distractions.
No,
it causes all the other distractions.
Absolutely.
This thing is coming like a freight train.
So what are you saying when you say cell phone ban? Are you saying keep them in the backpacks, keep them in the lockers? Are you
Can't
saying
use them,
just
can't
don't
connect
even
them
bring them
to the schools. You can't.
Okay.
You can have them, but if I see them, I'm taking it.
Okay.
That,
I think a lot of schools already have that.
Well,
honestly.
I understand that.
Okay.
But Huntsville City Schools, the weak, feckless people that run that school system, they basically have said, well, we just don't know if everyone's going to enforce it. Like, they're crawfishing on this. And to me, it's like, you're in charge. What are you talking about? It's just so weak and pathetic.
I still want you to go substitute in a school. Like,
I would
when
love
is that
to.
going to happen?
I almost was an education major.
Oh, that would be great.
It's terrifying.
That is a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it was for those kids. All right, moving on. Let's talk a little bit about crime here. This is another thing where the legislature is coming down. The cell phone ban, I think you see it come from the legislature eventually. That's what I think happens. But something else coming from the legislature, at least it's being suggested, is a takeover of different municipalities' police departments. And we've talked about this a little bit on this program already. The mayor of the city of Birmingham, when he is not tweeting out the most embarrassing things you could possibly see, he's pulling out guns at a city council meeting because 10 people in his city are being shot in 2 mass shootings. And he's saying, okay, now we're going to be serious. And we've seen this from him over and over and over again, and there is no change. We're going to put barriers up, but we're going to paint them. And we're going to close streets. We're going to do all these different things, and nothing seems to be working. And it seems like the legislature is getting a bit out of shape with Birmingham, Montgomery, and Bessemer. Those are the 3 that they've talked about a lot. Is the legislature truly going to get in here, and what is going to happen with the legislators that represent these areas? Are they going to be okay with Aaliyah? However they design it, they're going to have to design a system of takeover out of thin air.
Exactly.
Where's the money going to come from?
There's so many questions as to how this would happen. And
is Aaliyah just going to install a human being and say, here, you're in charge of all these resources? Is that what they're going to do?
I have no idea how they could actually do it. But as far as the legislature making moves, you saw the letter that was published on numerous news sites throughout Alabama from Representative Alan Treadaway talking about
Former
the
cop.
failures. Yes, exactly. Talking about the failures, speaking specifically to Montgomery and their situation. What was it? It's only halfway through and there was like maybe, more than 30 homicides, hundreds of shootings already in 2024, and really pointing the blame at the mayor.
No. National Guard's the answer at this point. I'm dead serious about that. I know it sounds rather flippant. The National Guard is the answer. You've got to come in here right now. You can wait till the next session if you want to. I think that's a waste opportunity. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think the legislature does it.
You think it's just talk?
I've talked to some, and they're like, there's no real appetite for this. And then it becomes a situation just like with the minimum wage ban that they did. Are they allowed to just target one city and say, you're not going to do this? They have to make it all. There's a whole bunch of stuff that has to go into play here. And in the legislature, this is a big swing. We've seen sometimes they're not that good at those big swings.
The big swings don't always work.
Right. So we'll have to see what they do.
You got your school choice.
Yeah. Well, I made that happen. That's true. All right. Mecca Music, thank you very much. When we come back, Yaffe will be with us. Stay tuned. It's Alabama Politics This Week.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Even if you've tried before and were unsuccessful in getting rid of your timeshare, call today and see if we can help. We offer a complete 100% unconditional client satisfaction guarantee. Make this completely free call and learn how we can help you legally put an end to your timeshare nightmare once and for all. You have nothing to lose, so call right now to qualify and receive a free consultation. You can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, but you've got to call now. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia. This is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. And my friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom, Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improve range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Do you have diabetes? If you have insurance, you may qualify for a new continuous glucose monitor. With a CGM, you can continuously track your levels and trends, spend more time in range, significantly lower your A1C, and share important data with loved ones and caregivers. Most importantly, a CGM eliminates the one thing most people with diabetes hate: painful finger sticks. Take charge of your health. Order your new continuous glucose monitor today. If you use insulin, and have seen your diabetes care provider within the last 6 months, you may qualify for a CGM today. We'll do all the insurance paperwork and deliver your new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost to you. Medicare and most insurances cover continuous glucose monitors, so don't wait. Have your insurance handy and call the CGM Health Hotline now.
Well, welcome back to Alabama Politics. This week, I am Dale Jackson. Thank you very much for being here. With me, as always, Mecca Music. We've got Yavi with us. He is a talk radio host at WVNN in Huntsville. We're always thrilled to have him with us. It's lots to talk about here today. Yavi, we're going to start with the big thing that's going on. Donald Trump, a Secret Service failure, obviously. There's a lot of conversation about that. What will we remember months from now about this? When we go back and look at this, there's a lot of talk about he won the election that day. There's a lot of that. What will we remember about what happened on that day in the field in Pennsylvania?
His defiance. I think it's hard to not think of the picture, not think of the video of him raising his fist saying, "Fight, fight, fight." After that, I mean, it's just memorable all the way around, whatever your politics are.
And a lot of people showed that they were annoyed by that photo. Joy Reid on MSNBC said he stood up for 9 seconds, was allowed to take a photo after that. It's just like, this is insane talk. There are people who suggest that maybe this was planned or it isn't as suggested or how it went down. I think that's why we need to look into the Secret Service and see what happened here, just to get a better look at the total situation. Are we ever going to get that, you think?
I think so, mostly because Republican members of Congress, actually I guess probably some Democrat members of Congress too, are really wanting to look into it. But yeah, one of the problems which creates the conspiracy theories is the talk from the Secret Service director, who's really just trying to cover her own butt, basically not giving us all the answers. Oh, I'm going to stick around. We have 100% confidence in her. That kind of stuff is what breeds conspiracy theories. They're not living up to the seriousness of the moment.
Now, from Trump's perspective, he was very, effusive and grateful for, thanking the Secret Service for helping him and things like that. So I think,
no one's mad at the agents.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. That's what I was trying to get to in a nice way.
There's a leadership problem. I think that's what the real problem is. No one's like, you see some people talk about like, oh, the DEI this. It's like, guys, whatever. You say what you want. Maybe there's some stuff that should be changed in that situation, but they protected him, but they also failed. And the failing did not come from the agents who were told to do the job. Right. The failing came from the planning side of this. Will that come out in the investigation, Yavi?
Possibly. I mean, it could have been that one of the agents there or one of the officers there didn't do the job. That's why we need to have an investigation. Obviously, people aren't going to want to wait to have an investigation because they want to spread theories and get attention. But I tend to believe that what probably happened was just somebody missed one of their posts or whatever. People don't think something like that's ever going to happen to them. They're like, okay, I want to go home. Let's do the job. And then all of a sudden it became real.
Okay, I have a question for both of y'all as talk show hosts. You deal with a lot of the public, and I'm sure you might get a few callers who have their own theories, the conspiracy theory this way or this way and things like that. Do any of these theories actually gain traction?
Yeah, the theory that I think is getting the most traction, at least in my world, is the idea that the Secret Service knew this was going to happen and let this happen.
Okay.
Like that's sort of the one that seems to be getting the most traction, and I keep seeing. I don't buy that. I'll just speak for myself, and then Yavi can answer the question. I understand government. It's incompetent. Okay, I mean
that's what I always default to.
Yeah, it's incompetent, and people are tired of me saying.
Not just government, people in general.
People are tired of me saying this. They watch House of Cards and they think that's how things work.
I know.
They think the Secret Service is in like some massive conspiracy and the president can throw people in front of trains and get away with it and all sorts of stuff. And that's not how the real world is.
It's really not. Yafi?
Yeah, I was going to say also, talking about conspiracy theories in general, people don't want to believe in the chaos. They don't want to believe that it's really possible that some one nut job could change history. So in a way, when you're saying it's a big government conspiracy, it's almost like adding order into your mind. There's something about the human psyche that wants to do that, but I tend to think it's just chaos. There was a vulnerability that happened to get exposed, and it's just one of those things that could have went really, really bad.
You want to think
that's,
that...
real quick, Yaffe, that is such a great point, and one I completely agree with. It's nearly like a safety mechanism.
Like you almost, like, I'll use this as an example, you almost want to believe 9/11 was an inside job because the way it happened is just so...
It's terrifying.
Yeah, right. The randomness of the whole thing. You almost wish there was like some guy behind the scenes going, I'm going to do this, I'll show you, and then you find out he did it. And but that's not reality. The reality is things just happen to hit at the right time, and they get in the right way, and you see these things happen. Yeah, move on. Let's talk a little bit about the Biden situation. By the time a lot of people watch this, he may no longer be on the ticket anymore. There's been some reports that by the weekend he could call it, or by the end of the weekend he could call it a day. Over the course of the last week, I've gone multiple different ways. When Trump was shot, and he was shot, a lot of people say shot at. No, he was shot.
I know.
When Trump was shot, a lot of people said, okay, that conversation's over. The trying to take Biden off the ticket's over. It's not over. It's only ramped up. You got Obama involved in it. You got Pelosi. You got Schumer. You got all these other people involved in this whole thing that are high-level Democrats, not people at the bottom of the ticket. They're saying, get him out of here. Does he survive, Yaffe?
Yeah, I think when you talk about why the conversation's still going on, it's because he just can't hide it anymore. It's so obvious. And he might have one good press conference, but he's going to have 5 other bad ones. It's inevitable. So you have that, plus you see that Trump is winning, and you see the convention, and you just feel that right now Trump is winning. And the Democrats feel that too. They know it. They see it. So that's what really creates a lot of this, a lot of these problems, why Democrats really are still pushing it.
Okay, so here's my question. Y'all might have talked about this while I was gone. I apologize. Vacation.
He's watched the show.
What about... What about the conspiracy theories, if you will, that Biden was set up by Democrats to force him to step down? Do you think that's what's happening?
I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy.
I think what it is they wanted to see him perform. They wanted to see if he could rise to the occasion. And when he couldn't, it was obvious there's something wrong. And now they're not even attempting to hide it. Some in the media are saying, this we've known this for a while. So why didn't you say something? Like, that was your job, literally. Like, you should have been making this clear before this. But I don't think it was necessarily a setup. I think it was a test.
Well, from my understanding, the only one who really wanted to do the debate was Biden. And the reason why he wanted to do it is because he was losing. We forget that.
Right.
Yeah, he's losing now, but before the debate, he was losing. So Biden wanted to do something, and people behind the scenes are like, no, don't do it. But he did it anyway.
Well, there's some polls out that show things like Harris down 10 points in, like, Pennsylvania to Trump. I mean, so it's like there's no good answer here on this for Democrats. And because they have a situation where they have a wildly unpopular person at the top of the ticket. The only thing buoying and making it even close is there's a wildly unpopular person on the other side of the ticket. Well, then you take him out. You acknowledge you've been lying this entire time. You then bring up one of the people who helped the lie, who on top of that somehow has figured out a way to be more unlikable than Hillary Clinton. And you have all the same problems, only a worse candidate. Or you basically install somebody there. Either way, there's no good answer. What's the best? If they take him out, Yaffe, what's the best answer for Democrats?
That's a great question. I think they have to go with Kamala Harris just because.
No, we know what they're probably going to do. I think that they have no choice. There's demographic issues, there's structural issues, there's all these things. What's the best thing for them to do? Would it be Michelle Obama, Gavin Newsom, Barack Obama with a mustache on, Barack Obama or something?
Barack Obama with a wig on. Yeah, from everything I've seen, Michelle Obama, for some reason, she is just very, very popular, and there wouldn't be enough time to really vet her even before the convention. And I think obviously, but I don't think it's going to happen.
There's just such a heavy lift here. I don't understand how they can do any of this stuff. And every day they drag it out, they make it worse and worse and worse on them. They want to delay parts of the convention. This whole thing is pretty wild. And then Donald Trump is just like meandering through this whole thing, and he's looking like a champ. I mean, that's really the bigger problem they have is how awesome he looks in all of this.
Yeah.
And then you talk about like the disunity on the Democratic side. You have nothing. You have Nikki Haley shows up at the Republican National Convention and goes, "I don't like that guy too much, but I'm voting for him because the other guy's worse." And that's the end. I mean, this is probably pretty much over at this point. Yaffee, thank you very much. Sorry for the diatribe there at the end. We appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Yaffee.
Mecca Music is about to leave, which means the show's going to get so much better on the other side. Stay tuned. It's Alabama Politics This Week.
You work hard to earn little escapes because doing your best means being your best. So let us help you discover your best at Premier Dental Spa. With our unique blend of cosmetic, dental, and spa-like aesthetic services, you'll leave feeling relaxed, refreshed, and renewed. Make sure the best you is here to stay and book your appointment online today at premierdentalspa.com.
Do you have diabetes? If you have insurance, you may qualify for a new continuous glucose monitor. With a CGM, you can continuously track your levels and trends, spend more time in range, significantly lower your A1C, and share important data with loved ones and caregivers. Most importantly, a CGM eliminates the one thing most people with diabetes hate: painful finger sticks. Take charge of your health. Order your new continuous glucose monitor today. If you use insulin and have seen your diabetes care provider within the last 6 months, you may qualify for a CGM today. We'll do all the insurance paperwork and deliver your new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost to you. Medicare and most insurances cover continuous glucose monitors, so don't wait. Have your insurance handy and call the CGM Health Hotline now.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for University Kia. This is my son Grant. He's a busy guy. Chess, piano, basketball, wrestling, baseball, you name it. There's probably some stuff that I missed that my wife will be mad about, but here's the thing. It's important to have reliable transportation. My friends at University Kia, they take great care of me. I've been driving Sportages my entire life. My wife drives a Telluride now, and it is the perfect vehicle for the busy family. Folks, University Kia, let them take care of you like they've taken care of my family. That's University Kia. Learn more at universitykia.com.
Tom Grant and Dale Jackson sent you.
Want fun, safe, intelligent fitness programming? Want to build muscular strength, cardiovascular endurance, drastically improve range of motion and mobility, and learn proper nutrition to fuel your life with energy and emotional health? Well, come find out why Iron Tribe Fitness is ranked one of the top 5 fitness programs in America. Come find out why personal training and intentionally working on your current movement patterns individually is not only important, it's just another core value that separates Iron Tribe Fitness from other fitness facilities.
To learn how to get your 2-week free pass, go to irontribefitness.com.
Well, welcome back to Alabama Politics. This week, I am Dale Jackson. We're about to get into the parting shot. Before we do that, let me tell you about YellowHammerNews.com. Head on over there, sign up for the 7 things you should be talking about today. And every single day, Monday through Friday, I'll send you an email telling you the 7 things you should be talking about that day. It's very handy for you. Go there, YellowHammerNews.com. But right now, let's go ahead and get over to the parting shot. My parting shot this week is directed at all of the Alabama Democrats who are excited about a bridge in Mobile, and they've decided in order to celebrate this, they're going to criticize anyone who said, oh, this bridge in Mobile is going to be a pretty good thing. We should absolutely do this. It's a worthwhile project. And then they look at them and go, yeah, but you're a Republican and you voted against the Inflation Reduction Act. And it's like, yes, that's true. A lot of people were against the Inflation Reduction Act because there's a lot of stuff in there that is pork, and I'm not saying this bridge isn't even that, but there are things that are in there, and there are times when you vote against a bill that you try to make better, but you still vote against it because it's not good enough. And I'll give you a perfect example. Terry Sewell, the congresswoman from the great state of Alabama, the only Democrat in the delegation, voted against budgets in the past. And each and every one of those budgets, there was money for cancer research. To suggest that she is against cancer research because she voted against those budgets is laughable. And for her to say, well, I'm not going to show up at UAB if the federally funded cancer research is done there, and thank them and say you're doing a good job, because I voted against the bill is laughable. There's just no reason to do that. So let's be a little smart about these attacks on this stuff. And there are good things and bad things in each and every bill. The idea is to make it as good as possible. And even if it doesn't get through the stuff you want, you can still celebrate some of the good stuff in there if you want to. So it's not as cut and dry as some people are making it. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for watching Alabama Politics this week. We'll be back next week. Talk to you soon.